In the year 53 BC, the greatest power of the West marched toward the deserts of Mesopotamia. Their goal was glory and the conquest of the wealthy lands of the East. But what followed was one of the worst military catastrophes in Roman history. Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in Rome, sought to rival the military achievements of Julius Caesar and Pompey. Ignoring counsel and warnings, he gathered 7 legions and set off, confident that victory was inevitable. More than 40,000 Roman soldiers marched under the relentless sun, carrying the heavy weight of their armor and shields. Crassus's army crossed the Euphrates River and entered the territory of the Parthian Empire. The silent and hostile desert hid a deadly trap. Roman scouts soon began to report strange movements on the sandy horizon. The Parthian cavalry was closing in. At the Battle of Carrhae, the Romans were surrounded by a mobile and relentless force of horse archers. Under an endless shower of armor-piercing arrows, the legions retreated into a tight defensive formation. The testudo formation, where shields interlocked to protect the group, kept the men alive temporarily, but the lack of water and constant Parthian assaults wore down Roman resistance. The battle ended in a complete massacre. Crassus was lured into false peace negotiations and ruthlessly executed. Out of 40,000 men, only a fraction managed to escape. Approximately 20,000 Romans died under the desert sun, and 10,000 were captured alive. From this point, one of the greatest mysteries of antiquity begins. The Roman prisoners were chained and forced to march eastward. It was common Parthian practice to relocate captured soldiers to their most remote borders to defend them. They were taken to the Margiana region, on the modern border of Turkmenistan, thousands of miles from Rome. There, far from their families, they were forced to serve as frontier guards. The legionaries built and defended wooden forts against nomadic tribes who constantly threatened the Parthians' eastern border. Years passed, and all hope of returning to Rome vanished. Some historians believe these veterans eventually escaped or were hired as mercenaries by local nomadic leaders, moving even further into the Deep East. During the following decades, the legendary Silk Road indirectly connected the Roman Empire and the Han Dynasty Chinese Empire. Rumors of highly disciplined Western warriors began to circulate. At the same time, the Chinese Empire was expanding its borders westward, securing trade routes and clashing with the Xiongnu, the powerful nomadic tribes of the north. In 36 BC, 17 years after the Battle of Carrhae, Chinese General Chen Tang led a military expedition to besiege the fortress of Jiji in modern Kazakhstan. Upon surrounding the fortress, which was fortified with double wooden palisades, the Chinese soldiers witnessed something extraordinary. A troop of foreign infantry was defending the main gate. The official Han Dynasty records registered that these soldiers fought with shields locked in a rigid fish-scale formation, a tactic completely unknown in Central Asia. This description matches precisely with the famous testudo formation used by Roman legions. Furthermore, the double wooden palisade construction was typical of Roman military engineering. The Chinese were victorious and captured about 140 soldiers of this special unit. Impressed by their discipline and skill, General Chen Tang decided to bring them to China. The Chinese emperor, recognizing the military value of these Western-looking men, spared their lives and integrated them as an elite military unit to guard China's border. To house the veterans and their families, the emperor granted them a specific territory in Gansu province, in the northwest of the country. The settlement was officially named Liqian. Liqian was the word ancient Chinese used to refer to Alexandria, and by extension, the entire Roman Empire. It was very rare for a town to be named after a foreign empire. The Roman soldiers helped build fortifications, mixing stone blocks and wooden towers, blending Eastern and Western cultures into a peaceful colony. For generations, the city functioned as a defense outpost at the gate of the Gobi Desert, protecting commercial caravans traveling along the Silk Road. As centuries passed, the Han Empire fell, and the city of Liqian was eventually abandoned or absorbed by other dynasties. The mystery seemed buried by the sands of time. In the 1950s, historian Homer Dubbs of Oxford University rediscovered these records and proposed the fascinating theory that the founders of Liqian were Crassus's lost legionnaires. Since then, researchers from all over the world have visited the modern village of Liqian in search of archaeological remains and physical evidence of this extraordinary contact. What they found was surprising. Many local residents possess traits uncommon in East Asia: green and blue eyes, prominent aquiline noses, and wavy light brown hair. Several DNA tests conducted in the early 2000s revealed that nearly half of the genetic material of some Liqian residents has ancestry of European origin. Although genetics confirm the presence of European blood, many Chinese historians remain skeptical, pointing out that the Silk Road was always a site of intense ethnic blending. Critics suggest that the European traits could have come from Persian merchants, Sogdians, or Eurasian nomads who traveled the route for more than 1,500 years. Without detailed written records from the Roman side, the story remains shrouded in mystery. Yet, the idea of Roman imperial soldiers founding a colony in ancient China continues to inspire. The Gobi Desert keeps its secrets, but in the dust of Liqian, the footprints of two of the world's greatest empires seem to finally cross. What do you think of this incredible journey? Were they the descendants of Rome's lost legion? Leave your theory in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time on Planet Facts.